Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 275. My hair's a mess this morning. It's Monday, a productive weekend. So I just wanted to get right into that. And I talk about the weather a lot, but the weather, it played out perfectly. What's up, Herman? Good morning. It was really windy, like so windy. I tweeted out a picture on Saturday. It snapped. The wind was so windy. Can't find the right word. It was so windy. It snapped, blew the tree over, fell on my neighbor's fence. Didn't do any damage, fortunately. What's up, Brad? Good morning, Mark. But that's how windy it was. So I talked about this yesterday. I was going to ride my bike to the next town over, go to the brewery. On Saturday, it was so windy. I had dust was blowing up. We haven't had much rain, so it's and farmers have been in the field, so it's blowing up a lot of dirt, dust. So my allergies were really bothering me Saturday evening. But it was nice yesterday. It was in the 80s yesterday. It was sunny. It was not as windy. So I did go out did about 12 miles on the bike. I mowed yesterday. So it was very productive. We had dinner at friends that live in the neighborhood last night. So it was very productive. What's up, Zach? Zach's power went out for 7 hours Saturday night. Wine blew up a fuse on a tower. We had something similar happen, not to me, but in our area. A raccoon did some damage and it knocked out like several thousand people's power for a few hours. Wind. Okay. I was going to say wine. It would take a lot of wine, I think, well, maybe not. Wine on electricity is not good. Wind blew a fuse on a tower. Yeah, it was nasty on Saturday. Much better. And then we were sitting on the deck at our friends, and we could start seeing the lightning come in. We had some storms roll in. I don't think we got too much rain overnight, but it's supposed to rain all day today, which is good. So I can, after spending all weekend basically outside, I can be inside doing hobby stuff. Now, I did open my final box of Bowman Sunday morning. My auto hit, and I'll just show off the auto hit, was Johan Rojas, first chrome refractor. So this is numbered to 499. So that was a nice auto hit. So 2 of my 3 autos were really good. And then the other auto was a first chrome auto, but it was a pitcher and, not the greatest. But my feelings, and I know it's a very small sample size, only 3 boxes, but I think at that $200 price point is a really good price point for Bowman this year, because based on secondary market sales, I sold an Austin Martin first chrome. What's up, George? I sold, and I think I talked about this last week, where the secondary prices on singles have kind of met up with the price of boxes, because a top prospect first chrome a couple years ago was a $5 card, maybe 10, and I'm talking 2017, 18, back when prices were normal. I know that's normal is subjective, but back in the day, whereas now an Austin Martin chrome, I put one up for $35. $35 for a base chrome, and it sold almost instantly. So those prices have come up, and you can make some money back, where in 2017, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, in 2017, I spent $800 on 12 boxes and lost money selling singles at release. I picked up my case on release day, ripped them that night, and started putting them on eBay, and I still lost money on that $800 case of Bowman in 2017. But now, $300 plus, that's going to be tricky, because you may get the box, so my second box that I opened, this was the auto, Sandy Gaston. It's a first chrome, but he's a pitcher, and he's not a top prospect. So that's where, and that's where the gamble lies when you open boxes. Doesn't matter what product it is. There's probably not going to, there's going to be some boxes out there that don't bring you great value. But up until, even last year, the secondary market price, it was just insane. Like, you had to pull a monster hit to make your money back. Whereas now you can, with most other products, if you know how to sell, you can get most of your money back, if not make a profit, ripping boxes. It can be slim, but it can be done. And when I was doing this in 2016 and 2017, I made profit ripping and flipping on unopened new wax. But overall, it was a very slim margin, because yes, Topps Heritage, I made twice the money back on Topps Heritage. But then Bowman comes along a month later, and I make, I sell $400 worth of cards on an $800 purchase. And there goes all my profits from Heritage. And then the next product comes along, and, I make $100 or $200 on a case. But then Ginter comes along, and I don't make any money, or I lose money. So it's a crapshoot, and that's buying by the case. So my thought process before I went into buying cases was, hey, if I pull a big hit out of one or two boxes, how much could I make on a case, because I'm buying 12 boxes? And it doesn't work like that, because you're going to get like one monster, the old case hit, where some products do have those, some don't. But that was my thought process, and I quickly learned that's not the case. And it was tough. And then that's when I kind of lost. It was more of a business for me, because I was ripping and flipping. I was tracking my profits and losses, and it just wasn't fun. And it got to the point where I was dreading opening. And I mean, here I love, and at that time I loved, past tense, I loved opening boxes, and it was an event for me. But then all of a sudden, I'm tracking my expenses, and I'm tracking my sales, and then it's like, this sucks, especially when you lose money, or you look at your margins over the last 8 months. You're ripping and flipping cases, and you've made $100 out of 8,000. You've spent $8,000 to profit $100. So that's at the point where I did it for about a year and a half, and then it finally, and there's a blog, one of my first blog posts on 1millioncubs.com. I talked about that, rediscovering the happiness of the hobby. And, then I started the 1 Million Cubs project, and it's all come back. And yes, I am, I've got two sides to the hobby. There's a business side with my eBay store, where yes, I do track sales, but then I also have this other side where it's strictly Cubs. And when I open stuff now, the Cubs is mine. It doesn't matter if it's the hit, it's mine. And that's only gravy for me. And then so I'm not treating the boxes like this Bowman. I bought 3 boxes of Bowman, but I don't really care. I do care, and I shouldn't say that I don't care. I don't care that I lose money, because it's the enjoyment. Bowman has been my favorite product since the late 90s. So I love opening Bowman, and it's fun going back if you set them aside, and a couple of years later some guy blows up. And somebody tweeted about this the other day, that Ronald Acuna wasn't the chase in 2017 Bowman. And I'll have to go back and see what I pulled, because I think I pulled an Acuna, but it wasn't like, it was probably a $10 card, and now it's probably a $300 card. But it was Kevin Maitan, who was also with the Braves. Now he's with the Angels. He was the chase, and it wasn't Acuna. So that's the fun thing, because a couple of years later you go back, and in 3-4 years, Austin Martin may not be the big catch. It could be this Sandy Gaston guy, or it could be Johan Rojas. We don't know. So go back to the chat. Bipolarism. Herman, P&Ls. Check out Chris Torres CRT cards. I don't know if you follow him or not, but CRT cards or CRT sports cards. He's a big Project 2020 and Project 70 guy. And he has a great sheet. And I know, I think David, Dak T-Mac fan, I think he uses Chris Torres's P&L. So check that out. And he offers that up. So it's really cool. Brad says, yeah, Torres's sheet is a good place to start. Yeah, I had one that I created back in 2016, 17, but I don't like it. So I won't even put you through that, but I would suggest Chris Torres. George asks if I'm going to buy some Keith Shore Bowman today. Probably not. I have lost interest in the online Topps products. Outside, I mean, I'm still into Project 70, which I think Alex Pardee has a new release this week. I think he said Thursday, and he's going to drop a tease today. So I'm looking forward to that. So I probably will not buy any, although Keith Shore is one of my, I would put Keith Shore top 5 of my favorite Project 70 artists, maybe even top 3. Alex Pardee is definitely in there. Ermsey and Pardee are 1 and 2, in no particular order. Shore is up there. Shore might be my number 3, but he's definitely top 5. Zach's going to be delayed on the chat, hopping back in about 7 minutes. Porter's first day back at physical school in over a year. Wow. That could be fun. That could not be fun. I'm not looking forward to going back into the office, which is going to be about a month away. So I don't know how this is going to shake out with this show will, if I continue it through the summer, it's going to be earlier. So instead of like 7 to 7:15, it'll be 6:45 to 7, and I probably won't be able to run as long most days. So we will see. Brad says Bobby Hundreds. His first release I liked. I think I was turned off by the Tommy Lasorda. It was kind of I still love the idea, but it's kind of like I've grown cold on Bobby Hundreds. But I do like the style, but it was cool for like a 1 or 2 card thing, and now I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of over it. And yeah, I think what I was disappointed is that Tommy Lasorda has 3 cards now. And the Cubs have the entire 150-year franchise of the Chicago Cubs / White Stockings has 1 singular card, but Tommy Lasorda has 3, and Deion Sanders has 3, and somebody I tweeted about the other day has 2. Dick Allen has 2. It's cool that Dick Allen has a card, but 2? I never would have thought Dick Allen would have had 2 cards. Tommy Lasorda, Deion 3. Sweet, you're going to be just about prime time rather than bedtime for me. Mark says Lauren Taylor does some great work. Yeah, I do like Lauren Taylor's work. I do like her stuff. Blake Jameson does some cool stuff. Trying to think of who else. But yeah, those I'd have to look back and see what. And I think the subjects that are done, probably. Oh, Fucci, I like the non-face thing that he has going. I like that, and he did. I think his card came out Friday, and it was kind of a lesser player. So I liked that. So that's about what I had for today. Mondays are always kind of slow. It's going to rain all day, so I can. I've been listing the Bowman, the 2021 Bowman. I haven't listed the big hits. And if you didn't see, pulled this Joe Adell rookie orange number to 25. That was in box one. That was like the third hit. The auto was Antonio Gomez first chrome blue refractor number to 150. So it's like the trifecta. It's a first, it's a non-pitcher, and it's a Yankee. And then the cherry on top is it's a refractor numbered to 150. And then my second box was kind of a dud auto. First, it's a first, so that's good. Sandy Gaston, but it's a pitcher. And then my box that I opened Sunday morning was a refractor of Johan Rojas of the Phillies, numbered to 499. So I was pretty happy with the boxes. I have to go through some of those silver base paper, silver paper parallels are tough to find, because I can't decipher them from the front. So I always have to look at them from the back. So I got to go through my base and see if there's any silvers, because those are, I think, numbered to 499 on the back. So I'll have to go through and check that out. I didn't look. I think there's image variations, so I have to go and look to see, just to make sure I don't have any image variations before I slip a bulk of the paper into my 25-cent box for the show May 22nd. So that should be fun. I was able to sleeve a few more 100 cards. I haven't put a big dent into my penny sleeve stash, so I need to do that. And Ken was asking me, so the penny sleeves I bought are the thick for like jersey cards and thick cards. The place where I bought them from, I think a breaker, Jag JAGG breaks, and they were 30,000 for $380, so just over a penny a piece, like 1.25 cents if you take it out. So 1.25 cents. They were out of the standard penny sleeves, which obviously was what I wanted, but they didn't have any, and I needed them, so I bought the thick. They do not fit into a top loader very well. And if I have, just open up a pack real quick. So that is a downside. So and it's not too bad for me, because most of these will be used, pretty much all of them will be used for my quarter boxes, so they won't be going into top loaders anyway. So I'm going to throw in, I've got the stack of Marvel cards. There's Captain America and Spider-Man. I put a couple of these cards on for like $250 based on some other comps, and they haven't sold. I mean, it's only been a couple days, but I may have to drop them to like $1.50, or I'm not listing things at 99 cents just because. So yeah, they do not fit very well at all. So you kind of have to, you would have to like bend it over. I don't want to do that. So yes, Ken was asking me if they fit in top loaders. They will not fit in these are the thick card sleeves, and they will not fit into a standard top loader. So they'll fit into like a thick top loader, but not a standard top loader. So if you're looking for putting them in top loaders, not a good buy. But if you just need them for like your dime boxes, quarter boxes, and they're not going into a top loader, then yes, they'll be good. Which I'll just have to remember that I need to use all of these for my quarter boxes only, and then the other standard sleeves I'll have to use for my eBay stuff, because they're going in top loaders. They will probably fit 100 point up top loaders. Yeah. Just not I call them standard, but the smallest top loader. George's random 2.6 cents each. So yeah, I went to the card shop and he did, sure enough, $2 per 100. My expensive old, and I don't think I talked about this. So Saturday I was out and about, and I drove past my old LCS. So I blogged about this in August, September of 2018. We had like a storm of multiple centuries, rained like 16 inches in like a 24 hour in one day, 24 hours. I mean, my wife's car was flooded out in the middle of the street trying to get to her mom's house. The parking lots near my office were just cars in water. It was insane. And unfortunately, we had two local card shops, and the one that I always went to was this particular one that got flooded out. It was in back in the day, it was kind of a popular mall. It was called Westgate Mall. And but as you know, this was a few years ago. By the time 2018 hit, it was it was a rundown. I think the card shop was the only business. So it was kind of it wasn't your traditional mall. It was kind of laid out. So like where the card shop was, it had like a mini mall type look, but then like next to it, and it was all in, you could walk well, I don't think the card shop wasn't connected to the interior mall. So like the storefronts on the mini mall side, and there were probably six offices / businesses in the mini mall. And then there was like a big fabric store, and then some other stores. And then there were like a couple department stores that were connected on the other side. So it was kind of a weird hybrid indoor / outdoor mall, with a couple anchor stores of department stores. So his mini mall, and he had been there since 1980, I think. And his area was down below, and we got all that rain, and it like actually blew like a hole in the wall. It was awful. There's pictures, 1millioncubs.com. So it was flooded out. So now within the last couple of years, like it was all flooded out. I think Hy-Vee actually owns that whole property, because they built a Hy-Vee maybe 10 years ago, like on the other side because it takes up like basically a block. So I think Hy-Vee owns it. And then they may have sold it to a developer. They're going to develop that whole area, is kind of in a transition phase. The whole actually side of town is. So I think they're going to build up apartments and like coffee shops and, that type of thing. So I was driving by, and all of a sudden I look, and it's a bunch of rubble. They bulldozed that whole complex. So I did take a picture on Saturday. That caught me off guard. I knew it was coming, but it's just like one day I'm driving by, and it's, there's the rundown mall. And then the next day you drive by, and it's just a bunch of bricks and rubble. So share that. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Brad will be live next. Check him out over on his channel, Texas Card Dude. Tonight, 7 p.m. Central, Ken and Herman, they'll be chatting it up over at 3B Collection on YouTube. So check that out tonight, 7 p.m. Central. Have a great Monday, and we'll talk tomorrow.